Boy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Sports, where we come on here every day and talk about sports and what happened in the NFL playoffs yesterday. Man, I tell you what, some game. That sure was exciting. I tell you what, one of the best in history. Go Chiefs.
Nothing else happened this weekend, right?
No, you know what's funny? On Sentiment, actually, it always shows the trending crypto words. And even among crypto Twitter accounts, the most popular search terms yesterday or key phrases were all sports related. So that'll tell you how popular crypto is these days. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. My mission is to empower you to find financial freedom through crypto assets. If that sounds good, hit that subscribe button. We come to you live Monday through Friday, 2 times a day, mornings and, of course, around the blockchain in the afternoons. Looking forward to doing that show later today. And, I tell you what, crypto has sure not been super exciting. Well, it has been exciting, actually. It hasn't been boring, but it hasn't been the way that we like it to go. And the question is, how much more of this can we take? How much more of this can the market take? And we're going to be taking a look at, a lot of evidence one way or the other. I think, your hope for a bull market, and we'll look at this in a little bit. Your biggest hope for a bull market is everybody saying it's a bear market, and crypto tends to do the opposite of, what people think it will do a lot of times. But unfortunately, we are heading towards what could be potentially super bearish territory. No, we have not sold. We missed our chance to sell. That's unfortunate because we're kind of in the same position a lot of you guys are. We were so focused on the number that we thought it was going to get up to that we missed the top. We completely missed the top. So it is what it is. We learned a hard lesson there, but I think the biggest lesson we took from this bull run was take more profits. However many profits you're taking, take more profits. It's going to guard you against, because now we're in a position where we said if it went below 40, we were going to consider selling. We didn't. Now it's around 33. What's the upside to sell at this point? I think there is a decent chance we go down to $20,000 to $24,000. Definitely there is a chance. Feel like a decently strong chance, like maybe a 50-50 shot it's going to go that low. It could go lower. But I don't think it's going to go much below that, even in the depths of the bear market. And so what is really the plus side? Like, we're going to sell at 33 and then it goes down to 24. But you got to weigh out the risk versus the reward. Like, what risk are we taking by selling off? Number one, we'll destroy the sentiment out there on crypto YouTube. But in addition to that, like, what is the upside? What is the risk? The risk is, what if it does turn around? And until it goes below $29,000, we're not in a confirmed downtrend. Until it goes below 29K, which I personally think it's probably going to go, but it might not. And if it doesn't, then what are we risking by, selling at this point? The risk versus reward is just off at this point. It's just off. So for us, we're sitting tight. We're holding at this point. We're stuck in a lot of positions like a lot of you guys are. But ultimately, we've been in this market long enough to know that the prices are going to go back up. They are going to go back up. It may be 2 years. I know y'all don't want to hear that. That's fact. Could be. And if it is, we're prepared for that. Generally, the market bottoms about 1 year after the top. So, maybe we're looked at the end of this year, things bottoming and heading back up, but it doesn't feel good when it bottoms and heads up because it doesn't head up quickly. So we're just not 100% sure on, one way or the other. And really nobody is at this point. Anybody is telling you they're 100% sure of which way Bitcoin is going, they are lying to you. Nobody knows. It has not done anything that we had thought it was going to do. The numbers didn't come close to where we were going to go to. And I think that's probably, if you were to ask me what my biggest mistake during this bull market was, outside of not taking more profits, it was getting too focused on a number. Getting too focused on the number of where we thought Bitcoin was going to go and not relying more on the general feeling and the sentiment of where the market is at any given moment. Yeah. And I think that when we bounce back up to 69K, like we should have, been looking at, hey, if it goes back below 50, like maybe we should sell, Because going up to 69 and then down to 50, but we really believed in this 100,000 number. We were told 100,000. Everybody thought it was going to 100,000. 90% of people out there that are in crypto that have big voices, $100,000 seem to be that magic number. Some people with much higher targets. We got too focused on the number, too focused on the number and not focused enough on what the marketing, or the market was telling us at the moment. It's a big mistake. We made mistakes. We're not perfect.
Yeah, and it's big, I think, what you said there with the sentiment. Like when we were looking to buy that building, that pretty much was the top, right?
Yeah, it was.
And it felt like such a huge choice. It was about $3 million that we had to allocate towards that. And it felt like, golly, like we're selling so early in this bull run. What if, it pumps higher, we're losing gains, yada, yada, yada. But it was the plan we had. We went with it. And looking back, it was probably the best possible time. Yeah. We sold a lot of alts then, and that was the absolute peak, And then we felt like that was a risk, but then looking back, it was great. So, it's really hard to predict. And like you said, a lot of times it's counter to how you're feeling in the moment.
Yeah. Somebody says we're in panic mode. No, actually quite the opposite. We're past panic mode. Like we had a panic moment we could have made decisions on and we didn't do it. At this point, we're pretty much locked in. We gonna ride it down to the bottom at this point. So wherever the bottom is, I'm hoping it's higher than previous down draws. Previous down draws would suggest a $10,000 bottom for Bitcoin. Like I said, I don't think we're going below $20,000 to $24,000. If you're asking me what a good point to accumulate would be, I'm guessing probably between 20 and 24. But remember, there still is a chance that we get a bounce at 29K and head back up, or 28.5, wherever the previous low over the summer was. So, guys, let's go ahead and get into the markets here. First, we always check on our socials, 1.45 million subscribers. We can head up. Can you zero those out or no?
Yeah, I can do that. Just give me a second.
Also on Twitter, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We're almost at 800,000 followers here on Twitter, so you guys can check out clips and other stuff there. We also do have our Texas meetup coming this week, so really excited about that. If you live in Texas, you want to come out, don't forget to sign up. It's completely free. Just gives us a count on how many people are going to be there. Where's Allison? Allison needs to tell me how many people are signed up. I have no idea so far. 424,000 on Instagram. This is my personal Instagram here. Dad jokes for the win. Haven't posted anything in about a week. 5,800 followers. And then, of course, on TikTok, perpetually at 2.7 million followers. I don't know if we'll ever gain another follower on TikTok. And don't forget, if you want to sign up for trading, we're going to do some trading with Frankie Candles here in a little bit. Don't forget, you guys can sign up for ByBit, Femex, Market Cipher. This is the indicator we use. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll start by looking at the overall coin market cap versus CoinGecko numbers. Right now, the market cap, $1.5 trillion. It's lost almost $1 trillion in about a month. Unbelievable. 24-hour volume, 111 billion. Bitcoin dominance up 41.7%. That's another number. We never saw the lows of Bitcoin dominance we thought we would see during this cycle. So we'll move on over to CoinGecko. Kind of compare their numbers here, because their numbers are a little bit different because they do include more coins than coin market cap. They've got a 1.647 trillion market cap, $126 billion volume. They still have Bitcoin dominance below 40% at 39.4%. Bitcoin actually up a little bit. Hey, Allison. Yeah, how many people do we have signed up for our meetup? 468.
Jeez. That's a lot of people.
They're
going to have a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. How many of y'all will be there with pitchforks?
I was going to say,
Texas people, bring your pitchforks, not your 6-shooters, please.
Yeah, the sentiment of this meetup, the questions might be a little different than some of the last time.
Hey, I'm in it right with y'all.
Yeah.
That's what y'all got to understand. We're feeling the pain just like you guys are. That is for sure. We're feeling the pain, feeling the emotions. We're feeling it all just like everybody else is.
Yeah.
So,
and I did want to just real quick, somebody in the chat said, don't you need money to pay your employees? We do have plenty set aside in stables for the employees and all that kind of stuff. That's why he was saying we're in it now. We're ready to ride it out. We've got enough to make it a couple of years with those stables we moved over, a few weeks ago. Not nearly as much as we could have had we sold the top, not nearly as much as we wanted to initially, but we're good.
Yeah, it sucks. It could have been a lot better, but it is what it is. All right, we got Bitcoin coming in 34,287. It is up. It was all the way down to 33, almost even. Ethereum 2276. I'm telling you, looking at the Ethereum numbers is extremely fascinating. We're going to look at some of that a little bit later. Binance Coin at 352. Cardano at $1. XRP at 58 cents. Solana $86.
Yeah, I mean,
it's down 40% for the week.
It's been.
I retire, guys. I don't need this. I'm done. I quit. I retire. We had a good run here, folks, on this channel. And, man, there's a lot of people out there that would love to see me quit, or a lot of people would love to see me kill myself out there, apparently, according to Twitter. But we're still here, and we're still kicking. And Solana down 40%. Morale down maybe a lot more. But, it is what it is, folks. We've been through this before. We've seen bloody markets before. And you guys just got to remember, 70% of you came in last year. 70%. That means 70% came in after the biggest gains for this market were already realized. The positions were already cemented. So you're going to get great. Thank you, Blake Cox, for that super chat. You're going to get a great opportunity to get new positions. Is now the time to get those positions? I don't think so. And we're going to look a little bit later at that. So, golly, Polkadot. What is Chainlink? Chainlink got absolutely crushed. It's down to $14.59. Crow absolutely crushed, 34 cents. Polygon down 40% for the week. Let's look at the biggest losers of the week. That's fun to do, right? Look at this. No winners for the last week. 0 in the top 100, except for stable coins. For the last 7 days, Curve down 50%. Wow. Harmony down 50%. Near Protocol nearing 0, down 50%. Super Googly says no 100K before next halving. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so.
Sure doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it. There's one chance. There's a Hail Mary. We're going to be looking at that, but it doesn't feel like it. I think, look, you want to know my actual, where I'm at?
Yes.
About 75% chance we plunge through 29K and we're going through a multi-year bear market. About a 75% chance at this point. 25% chance we're going to get a bounce at 29K and go back up. There's going to be, there is an announcement from the Fed coming this week. If they back off of their previous statements, we could see a reversal. If they continue with the same line of thinking and raising the rates, then this is probably going to be the plunge below 29K. And this is probably going to be the plunge that sends us down much, much, much further. Now, like I said, I don't think we'll go below 20 because that's the previous all-time high. A lot of support there. But anything's possible. I mean, could go, Tom Crown was talking about $7,000 is an absolute bottom, which, guys, any number that people throw out there that you think is unrealistic, check your heart. It could certainly be realistic. But this was certainly a different kind of market. We haven't seen this kind of bull market where we don't get the blow off top. We don't get the parabolic altcoin season. We didn't get anything we were expecting. So I guess that's what we deserve. I guess that's what we get for expecting. Am I right?
Yeah, all bets are off at this point.
All bets are off. And I don't know what this says about future bull runs. I mean, if this is all that we got. Now, if we plunge below 29K, then it's probably about a 90 to 95% chance that we're going to not see a new top for a long time, probably till 2024, 2025. But these are great times to accumulate over the next few years. That is not a super exciting message by any stretch of the imagination. And we understand that, but there is a reason why these markets reward the patient. It rewards the patient. All markets do. So if you came in here to get rich quick and overnight, you probably missed it. You probably missed that opportunity. So let's go. Let's bring Frankie on. Let's see what Frank says.
Yeah, let's do some chart analysis.
Some charts with
Frankie Candles.
Frankie Candles.
Let's find Mr. Candles. Frankie, where are you at there, buddy?
Oh.
Can you hear us?
What is going on, guys? Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I know it is rough out there. There is Definitely some blood in the streets. But Ben, I think you made a lot of really good points there. This market rewards the patient. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about that in just a minute here. But let's jump into the charts real quick and take a look at what we got going on here. So, as you guys know, we were in this channel, long-term downtrend. We did get this rejection off of this trend line, and what I was expecting a little bit was to play around in this accumulation zone a little bit, hopefully hoping for that move back up. Unfortunately, we did see a little bit more of a bearish case where we just absolutely smashed through that support zone at about 41.2. Between 41.2 and about 37-ish right there. So we smashed right through, came back down to test this previous level of support right here at about 35 or 34.8 here. We did get a nice little bounce off of this spider line here, which for those who don't know is essentially just a line of support. If you want to know more about technical analysis and how to draw these patterns and lines and how to find good entries and make money in this market, whether it goes up or down, make sure you follow me on YouTube, the BitBoy Crypto Trading YouTube channel. We had our first stream on Friday. It was a lot of fun. I had a blast, so definitely keep a lookout. We will be going live again tonight. Back to the charts. So we are getting a nice bounce off this spider line. Ben, I would probably agree with your percentages, about 75, 25. If we do break this spider line, my next area of support I will be looking for is this little range of support right here, which is about 31.5 to about high 28s, about 29. I'm like you were saying, that is the level that I'm going to be watching, around 29K for maybe a miracle, whip back up to the upside. But let's just say I'll take a quick look at the alts here, and then I just want to talk for 1 second. ADA, ADA at about $1. I mean, these prices, and then also Adam, I wanted to show because we have been keeping an eye on Adam. Finally, Adam decided to break this channel. As Bitcoin was dumping, it held that channel for a little bit. Broke down into this lower channel. But real quick, I just want to, if we are going down into the bear market, this is this is when a lot of people want to walk away from crypto. They lose interest, they lose hope. Everyone jumps in when the price is going up, and those are not the people that make money. So if we are going to the bear market, something you have to be excited about is, this is where you could change your life. This is a bigger opportunity than the bull run. This is where you really want to double down on your crypto research, double down on the YouTube videos, double down on the books, double down on learning about the charts, because this is where you get the best opportunity. This is where you find Solana at $5. This is where you find ADA at 10 cents. And this is where you change your life. So, just remember that in these hard times. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, it's Frankie_candles. And like I said, we will be going live again tonight, having a great stream after Around the Blockchain. I hope to see you guys there.
All right. Thanks, Frank. Thanks for joining us, enlightening us about the charts. You guys make sure to go check him out. And also, don't forget, if you go to the BitBoy Crypto YouTube channel, which I know a lot of you guys know how to do, considering most of you are watching here, if you just go down here to recommended channels, you guys just go ahead and hit subscribe to BitBoy Crypto Trading, and you guys can check out Frank and all he has to say about the charts, covering a lot of market cipher, but not all market cipher stuff. So
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, kind of like what he was saying, similar to the numbers you threw out. I saw a tweet from Don Alt this morning, kind of talking about those similar levels that. It's hard to feel very confident that we're gonna, like 28 looks like an obvious support, range, but it still feels with the current sentiment and the downward trend that it could blow through that pretty easily. However, if it doesn't, it's a pretty good opportunity. So I think he didn't say 75-25 like you did, but it kind of, that was the general sentiment of his kind of tweet there of like, you got to look for this as an opportunity. And if it blows through it, there's more opportunities, but it feels like a good place to look. That's the same thing I told my brother to be looking.
Yeah, it's good. I think that you got to be careful. This is the time where you got to be really careful, though.
Yeah.
Because look, we're gonna look more at altcoins here in just a little bit. But just because prices are down, that doesn't mean they're good buys right now. And we're gonna be taking a look at some of that. You can certainly start dollar cost averaging if you're confident that this is the bottom, which I don't know how you could be, I'd be loading up, but I'm not. Like, I'm not. I'm looking for much further plunges to liquidate some of our USDT back into crypto. So
apparently Sharp Claw is confident. He said this is the time to sell your house. I don't know if I agree with that, but that's what he thinks. Now, I will say if you bought the absolute top, 50K plus, 60K plus, obviously buying at 30K drastically helps reduce your blended entry, but that doesn't mean it can't go lower, for sure.
Well, we got a lot of stuff to look at here, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. But right before we do, make sure to hit that like button for us, guys. Stop what you're doing. Smash that like button. If you're watching on mobile, make sure to exit out of the live chat. Hit the like button. Come back in. If you're watching on a smart TV, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, there's 3 dots. Hit more actions or more options. Hit react and then like this video. It really helps more people to come into the channel and, get, watch these videos and know more about crypto during times when, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, most of you are going to leave. Most of you are going to leave.
Yeah.
Don't be the statistic.
No.
That's what I want to tell you. Don't be the statistic. I was not one of the statistics. I stayed. TJ stayed. In the depths of the bear market, we stayed. And we've been paid off for it. Handsomely. Almost as handsome as me. Handsomely. Okay? So don't be a statistic. So we're going to look at where we're at right now. Okay, Bitcoin falls to 36K. Traders say bulls need a Hail Mary to avoid a bear market. I think the numbers and percentages of my feelings that I've been giving you guys lines up with this. Basically, what they're saying is, traders are expecting a consolidation between $38,000 and $43,000, which is some stuff that we'll be looking at here in a little bit, why you might want to look for that range for some exit points. Technically, 38,000 support area is what separates Bitcoin from entering the 28 to 38,000 consolidation range. Last consolidated in said range Q1 and Q2 of 2021, which, guys, we're there. This has already happened. This article is a couple days old, but I really like this language coming here from the Wolf of All Streets, Scott Melker. He posted this chart and said, bulls looking for a Hail Mary close above 39K on the daily. A close below is a break in market structure. Lower low, bears showing no mercy. I mean, guys, this is where we're at right now. We have plunged through this. We are now at 33,000. I think here's, if you're looking for a last prayer for Bitcoin not to be heading to a bear market, the fact that everyone is calling this the start of a bear market is probably the biggest reason that it's not. And, we look at this a lot of times. It's just like sports handicapping, okay? When it comes to sports betting, if there's one direction the public is leaning very, very, very heavily, you can bet your bottom dollar that the sharps, as they call them, the winning bettors, they're betting the other side. Because generally the public doesn't know as much as they think that they do. They look at something and they say, oh my gosh, it's very obvious that the Buccaneers are going to beat the Rams because they're playing at home. Now, a lot of people bet the Rams, but I'm just saying here, for example, you get one team that's a massive favorite and everybody's piling on that team. And, the game ends up being a lot closer. Or the Bills were really hot. You got to think they're going to cover, and then they lose by 6 in overtime. So, the markets are that way too. When the general public is feeling one direction, it can often shift to the other direction. And I haven't really seen before a bear market really called. 2018, there were very, very, very few people that were saying it was a bear market. But I'm going to go back to what I said last week, which was the euphoria of the top of the market we didn't experience this time. And that euphoria is the thing that clouds the judgment that makes people think, oh, it just can never go down again. And I just felt like we never really entered into that euphoria stage during this cycle. I would say the closest thing to the euphoria stage that we experienced was back in April, was actually going back almost a full year. And there are people that are now saying we've actually, I know this doesn't make sense, like from a technical perspective, that we've been in a bear market since quarter two of last year. Basically saying since May, we've been in a bear market. We had one blip, a relief rally that ended up going way too high. There was one day where we were at higher price point than where we were in May. Okay, just one day. And, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that the sentiment has gone, the retail investor is gone. If that's the case, then maybe Bitcoin will bottom out sometime in May, But overall, the fact everybody thinks we know where it is and we know where it's going, that could be an indicator that it's not going there. Bitcoin enters value zone as Bitcoin price floor metric goes green again. So this is the metric called NVT. This was created by Willy Woo and Dmitry Kalichkin. It uses the ratio of Bitcoin's market capitalization to its daily on-chain transaction value to create an idea of whether price behavior really responds to on-chain activity. And that's definitely something we're seeing right now, is the on-chain activity is not matching. Like, that is the biggest thing, in my opinion, that leads me to believe that there's a chance that we might bounce back, is the on-chain stuff is just so strong here. Back on the spot market, others call into question the veracity of recent losses. This was a much more aggressive on higher volume drop. So anyways, we already talked about what Scott Melker said. Now, this was very interesting, I thought. This was Bengals win confirmed. Yeah, congratulations to the Bengals. My son's a big Titans fan. Derrick Henry's his favorite player. Our dog's name is Henry. But it's sad to see the Titans lose. They're probably my second favorite team. They're locally, they're the closest team to us other than the Falcons, but geographically. Okay. All right. How long before Bitcoin is back above 69K? And I thought this was extremely interesting because my guess is over 12 months. And you can see I'm not in the majority here. The vast majority feel like sometime in the next year. And this is where you get that evidence that, maybe we're still not, maybe that feeling of we're all in a bear market and a lot of people feeling it's not as prevalent as we think. Because while I'm telling you, I feel like everybody's saying that right now, or they're feeling that way. Or even if they're not, you can tell that they're apprehensive at this point. I think it's still going to go to 100K this year. They're apprehensive because, we've seen a lot of stuff that is not indicative of a bull market right now. But 72.2% of people out of 200,000 still believe we're getting a new all-time high in the next 12 months. And that's not what we've seen in bear markets. So, maybe we're not to that point yet where we're starting to feel the real pain. There's still the hopium out there. You compare the supply and profit between the correction in May and July versus now. During the last price correction, the investors and traders felt up to take more risks, and the sentiment was negative. The expectation was a drop of greater extent. You guys remember everybody was talking about $24,000 or $18,000 in May, and we didn't see that. This time we were telling you guys it was going to go back up at that point, and it did. But this time is a little bit different. This experience tempted the investors and traders in the current price correction to be positive and go long. Data and comparisons let them assume the dip is reached and the price is on the brink of a rise, albeit the willingness to take more risk is clearly less. And I think this is very important because investors are not feeling confident right now that this thing is coming back. I think over the summer, a lot of people were very confident. And look, there's Plan B. Look at Plan B's chart. In May, we still thought it was going to end up being correlated. We thought it was still going to bounce back up. We don't have that. We've already kind of passed that point now. People no longer believe that chart is valid. Maybe people that follow Plan B, but most people I know still do not believe that it is, that his chart is valid. Busy Genius says, do past cycles matter now? Institutional money and government now heavily involved. I think that's a great point. But I still believe you can't deny the Bitcoin halving, right? Like the Bitcoin halving is still the Bitcoin halving. So it has a massive effect on the price. So I think at some point we still are going to see correlation between the Bitcoin halving and the Bitcoin price, but maybe not like before. I mean, guys, we got to ask real questions here. If we only got a 3.5x times the previous all-time high, after the previous incident, it was almost 18 times, then you got to say, it's possible the next top for Bitcoin could be $90,000. I don't know if that math checks out exactly. Pretty close, though. Pretty close. Maybe the peak of the next cycle in 4 years is $100,000. That really shows the importance of checking out, what was I talking about? I lost my train of thought there.
Were you talking about
checking out altcoins? Trying to find places where you can still find massive gains. So, Bitcoin dies below 33K to fill the futures gap this morning. We saw that happen. It bounced back pretty quickly. Current check on the price, it is still hovering around, let's see here, 34.2. So is that the latest number here? 34.2. 34.4. So it is bouncing back a little bit from that. This week, some important stuff to watch. The liquid supply going up relentlessly. 5 things to watch in Bitcoin. The Bitcoin nearing a generational bottom. I think this is quite a exaggeration. From 39K to lows of 34K, Bitcoin showed no mercies as liquidations mounted. Traders are eyeing a test of 30,000 as a more definitive representation of how Bitcoin is likely to fare in the short term. That's what I've been talking to you guys about all morning. I definitely believe that this is the number we're watching, 29K to be specific. Let's see. One of these guys that wants me to kill myself, Dylan LeClaire, he says that look at where Bitcoin is trading relative to historical valuations. Currently, the network's on-chain cost basis is 24K, which is interesting. I've told you I think that's kind of could potentially be where we're heading to. A ratio of the cost basis and price, the MVRV, shows the historical boom-bust cycles of Bitcoin. So you guys can see the Bitcoin market value to realized value ratio. You can see, we are holding support here at 24. If you go back to 2019 when we dipped, it basically dipped right down to this number. It did dip below this in the hash wars of December of 2018, but that was a lot of manipulation. Probably would have got a good bounce off of that. You can see from the 2014 market, some of this may have had to do with Mt. Gox occurring that year, the hack. It did go, down below that pretty far. So let's see here, implied volatility versus Binance funding rate. You guys can see here a possible short squeeze. So, is this the bottom or are we getting, not is this the bottom, but are we going to get a relief rally? We looked earlier, they were looking at that, 38 to 44 range. This is talking about a possible short squeeze to 46K and then down again. I think if we go back up to 46K or around thereabouts, people should pull profits. That's what I would do. I would be pulling profits around that number. Risk versus reward. You're risking all of your profits. That's what you're doing. If it goes back down and you don't take profits at that point, the risk versus reward ratio, I believe if it does continue back to all-time highs and goes up to 100K, you're still going to be covered. You're going to have, positions open if you do get that upside, swing. But I would be pulling profits if we go back above 40K. That's what I would do if I were you, depending on your entry. So sizing up a Bitcoin bear. Is Bitcoin price we were just supposed to switch to bear market here. As Bitcoin price are cut in half from all-time high, the market experiences a large on-chain capitulation event with $2.5 billion in net realized losses. These are people who have actually sold at a loss, $2.5 billion. In response, we analyze whether a macro bear has taken the reins here. And this has a lot of different charts here. It goes to a lot of different charts. Thought this was really interesting here. The price drawdown from all-time high. And this is something we talked about as we were going up in the bull market, which was we started in May. We got a bigger correction than we had ever seen in 2017. Now we have two different corrections that are deeper than we ever saw before. One would have been the March pandemic pull down where we were down 74%. Obviously, 2018, we had an 83% correction. This would have been the bottom of the market. 54% bottom here in July. And right now it says 49.9%. But I believe once we hit 33K, I believe we've actually also plunged below this number deeper than all of 2017 correction. So, if you kind of look, it really depends on where we go here. You can make a strong argument that, this is still on an uptrend until it gets lower than this number. So down 54%. I do think the number is closer to 51 or 52% right now. But there's a lot of interesting stuff in this. This would indicate, according to the Nupal, that right now we are in the early phase of a bear market. You look back at the last bull market at the early phase. It's a lot of downwards, a lot of sideways action here. This lasted about 8 months. It looks like, according to this, somewhere around there, maybe 9 months. Right now, we've been in this for about 3 months. Michael Phoenix says, is the Fed bluffing? Great question. We don't know. I don't think that they are. I don't think they're backing off this week. I think this will be a further plunge. But if they back off, then that could be the reversal that, we're hoping for on some hopium there.
Yeah, that kind of is the Hail Mary. And I think they're going to at least test it. I think they'll start to do it. And I think our biggest hope is if the market really takes a hit across the board, all markets very hard, then they'll come back out and say, oh, we can't afford to do this. This will crash everything. And then we can get back to printing. But that's a pretty big hope, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know where the answer is.
I don't think anybody is. And I think that's
No.
why we're seeing such uncertainty in the market right now. Everybody's preparing for the worst.
So there was another chart I really want to show you guys on here that I thought was pretty interesting. I think it was like the last chart here. So here, the percent of supply last active 1 year or more ago. Now, here's what I thought really interesting about this number. You see, pretty much in all of the parabolic movement here and the beginning of the bear market, we were in this range where actually the number that had not moved, the last active supply, it dropped tremendously during this time. And then it started moving up as we got closer to the bottom of that market. Well, here you see something similar. You see a much bigger chasm here, but we're now starting to creep up to where this is crossing over the price, similarly to where we saw right here. This was when capitulation happened. We saw capitulation happen right here at this point in the market, where this number, where we got over 50% of the supply last active a year plus year ago, heading upwards. So if we're looking for something similar to happen, I mean, this would make sense if this is where the capitulation happened. Be nice if we just had one big drop and then that was it. That was the bottom, as opposed to, spending months and months and months in sideways action. Pump says here, Bitcoiners have held the asset through 4 different price declines of 50% or more in the last 4 years. We already looked at that. Peanut Gallery will always call it lucky, though. This is what we call the long-term mindset. Yes, eventually the prices always go back up. If you bought $20,000 in December of 2017, you still ended up in profit. You were doing very, very, very well up until pretty recently. You're still in profit today. But these 50% drops, they're hard on people. And this is certainly what pushes people out of the market. And speaking of that capitulation, perfect explanation for capitulation. The spent output profit ratio, the SOPR, we've already talked about it a few times. It's a well-known on-chain indicator. But here's what I wanted to really highlight here that I thought was very interesting. The unexpected jump in LTH SOPR before the latest price decrease was an intriguing piece of data that completed the jigsaw. This suggests that some long-term investors may have attempted to abandon the market before the crash, which exacerbates the market's negative momentum. People saw this coming. There were certainly some people out there who saw this coming. They attempted to leave the market when the long-term hodlers leave the market and are no longer long-term hodlers. That is what pushes prices down, and that's why we truly get capitulation. Now, have we seen capitulation yet? I would argue that we definitely have not. And I was kind of talking about this earlier. Who else has no strategy after the crash and just sits by and watches their coins? Who is in that category right now? Because that's where we're at. That's where I'm at right now. We're paralyzed. We can't move anything at this point. We've missed our sell points. We didn't do it. We failed miserably. But hey, we're hodling, right? So, lazy investor strategy, we're doing it right now. But I think that going forward, you got to kind of develop some plans. I think our plan is, if we get back over 40,000, we're going to start pulling more profits off the table. I think that's the best, decision right now for us. But I think you've got to figure out what your strategy is and then stick to your strategy. You got to go with your, you got to go with your gut. And we failed. I said if it went down below 40, we were going to sell, and we didn't do it. We blew it. We would have been in such a better position if we would have done that. We could have already started buying back in a little bit.
Mhm.
but we missed it big time. You got to trust your gut. I mean, I knew when we went below 40, it was not good. And I still don't think that we're done falling yet, but you got to have a strategy. What is your strategy? You know, there is a period of shock where you just sit there and you're like, I didn't do the right stuff. What do I do here? You're definitely going to go through that. You're going to have, you know, that time, but during that time, you got to develop a strategy. So I think that's what we're going to do going forward. Let's see. You'll know the bottom is in after you miss it. That's true. It's just a kind of an important strategy to talk about in crypto for a second, which is, you know, you only can really define a market top, a market bottom, a bear market, a bull market in retrospect. You can't really call these exact movements as they're happening. Crypto Face says it's only just begun. I tend to agree with him there. But you know, we don't know until the end. You don't know till you look back at the 2017 hump, exactly where things started and where things ended at. So calling markets is really something you do in retrospect. We're going to talk about who you need to listen to here at the end. So did I have that above that? That's fine. We'll go to altcoins first. All right, let's see here. Okay, this is from Charlie Bolello here on the Twitter's verse.
Seen a lot of those kind of tweets going around though.
Oh yeah, a lot of them. Percent below 2021 high. Luna down 49%. Bitcoin down 50%. Binance down 51%. Ethereum 53. Avalanche 64. Solana 66. CRO 67. ADA 70%. Polkadot 71%. XRP 72%. Chainlink 73%. Shiba 76%. Dogecoin 84%. So here's the question. When you're looking at these numbers here, are you thinking, man, these are great times to get in? Well, let's examine this a little bit, okay? Because let's take XRP for instance. Let's go to the monthly, go to the weekly here with XRP. Let's talk about XRP being a good buy at this point, okay? It said that, let's see how far it is down right now. So from the peak, XRP is down, not as low as it was in May, but it's down 72%. So you're looking right now at a cost of 60 cents to buy XRP. 60 cents. Seems like a great point. Seems like a great, you know, price to get in. But the average drawdown from altcoins in 2018 to 2019, 97%. We had many, Icon being one I really remember, Stratus or Substratum, both of them, Dragon Chain, Hundi X. These got down 99%. 99%. Do not fool yourself here. Icon's still alive and kicking. The average was 97%. So let's look at, if XRP were to go down 97% from its peak, where would that put the price? Remember, right now, 60 cents. If it went down 97%, I gotta zoom my chart in here. If it went down 97%, you would be looking at buying XRP at 5 cents. So is 60 cents a good price point? Is 60 cents a good price point? So I want to show you guys the difference between where it could be, where it is, and where it could fall to. Now, I don't know if XRP is going to fall that low. It was suppressed in the bull run, whatever. But there are plenty of other coins. I just want to show you the dramatic difference between 25%, 72% versus 97%. It's massive. So if you're looking for better buy points and you feel like the price is going to fall a lot more of these coins, I would be looking closer to, 15 to 20 cents rather than buying in at 60 cents right now. So, all right, moving on here. Let's see. We have this. Do you think a $2,500 Ethereum is a good buy? I think I answered that question. I think absolutely not. When you look at the numbers for Ethereum, where this thing could fall to, very interesting. If you look at Bitcoin falling traditionally 85%, you look at Ethereum falling down an average of like 90% in the last bull run, I believe is what it dropped. Let's see what that price would be if Ethereum fell 90% from its all-time high. What would that put it at? That would put it at $440. I would be looking to buy Ethereum anywhere between $1,000 to $1,800. I think is a pretty good price. I don't think it's going to fall that far. But, is definitely possible. It is definitely possible. Just trying to keep you guys realistic with what we've seen before.
And
Go ahead.
Just one thing I wanted to add in there, something to keep in mind. All altcoins aren't the same. Like those two examples are Ethereum and XRP are probably going to fare better than SHIB and Doge and the random altcoin your friend just told you about 2 weeks ago. So just keep that in mind. I mean, they still have just as far to fall. I just don't want people to get misconstrued with those examples. Ethereum's a little safer than
Definitely.
ICP or something that came out in this bull cycle. Solana, for example, just got destroyed, down for 72 hours. So the older the altcoin is, the I don't want to say the safer it is, because I wouldn't say anything's necessarily
And the more
safe.
established it is, the safer the price fall. I mean, there's just more support, obviously, with certain coins. But we've seen with Cardano, like it's certainly, it can fall like quite a good bit. I think it's important, guys. These are real numbers. I know these do not feel good. I know this does not feel good. But I would be doing a serious disservice to this audience if I did not give you the realistic picture of where we may be heading, because you have a decision. You have a decision point. Are you going to capitulate? Are you going to leave? Are you going to say, F this, I ain't got time for this? This is why the time investment into crypto is so big.
Yeah.
Understanding these types of things is so big, because there are serious periods of pain and agony in these bear markets. You got to weigh out. Are you built for this? Are you built to find financial freedom? Because this is what it takes. These are going to be the best opportunities of your lives, possibly. I didn't know how many more bull cycles we would get, and we still don't know how many more we're going to get of absolute parabolic movement. But if we fall down to levels where we've previously fallen down to percentage-wise, or even close to it, there's still big run-ups coming. When you start measuring where something is just to get back to its all-time high, and you look at things like XRP, Cardano, Solana, Cosmos, Bitcoin, things that are going to be around in 10 years from now, then you've got great opportunities. And that's why it's definitely very important to pick winners. When and why did the word altcoin lose its relevance? I thought this is very interesting, because I've never heard anybody having this conversation but me. Ethereum should no longer be considered an altcoin. I think that it's really time to start, figuring out what we mean by the word altcoin.
That's kind of what I was just getting at. Not all coins are made the same. Ethereum is in a
100%.
different category. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a very interesting conversation. Don't really have time to go through. This is a good article on Cointelegraph, how to pick or analyze altcoins. Read the white paper, look at the social sentiment, read what's behind it, look at the team. We go over that another time. Biden administration to release executive order on crypto as early as February. Biden administration is readying an executive order for release as early as next month. It will outline a comprehensive government strategy on crypto. The directive would take place. I mean, this is just more stuff that could continue to pound the price down. If this comes out and this is negative or very controlling about crypto, then, this could be a further plunge. People ask this question in the middle of a bull market, you're like, how can the prices go down this much? You see, this is how it happens. The FUD in the bear markets is very, very, very strong. Now, look, once again, Fed may come out this week, say they're not raising rates. Price could go back up, and this report comes out next month, and it's great. He says, we love crypto. We'll see what happens. But most likely, this is not going to be super great. Joe Labrador says, I'm loving this bear market, feeling like I can get into everything I missed prior to 2021. Every person I talk to who's been in since 2020, they're still crushing it. Keep that in mind.
This is a good opportunity for a lot of new people, especially people that bought the top.
Absolutely.
And I do want to say, somebody in the basement said to you, Ben, I know you said you came out and you said you failed, and they said, no, you didn't fail. You made more money off of this bull run than you could have ever imagined a year ago or 2 years ago, and you've helped a lot of other people too. So we maybe failed at doing it perfectly or doing it the best, but that's one beautiful thing in crypto is even there's a lot of room for error, and you can still make life-changing money for you and your family. So keep that in mind going into this next cycle for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is very important. But so continue speaking. Thank you for that comment, by the way. The federal agency's been studying crypto around the asset or the sector for years. The OCC has issued guidance letters. Biden administration senior officials have met multiple times to discuss it. So we don't really have this. I mean, articles pretty much saying the same thing. Important thing here is as early as February. So could be coming in a matter of weeks. Not the only politician trying to get into crypto, though. Of course, the mayor of NYC, he does not regret. He does not regret taking it in Bitcoin. He says it's the same as when I invested in the stock market. We saw a drastic drop during 2018 and other times. The purpose of Bitcoin is to send a message that NYC is open to technology. We want to see a large amount of new tech in the city of New York and to encourage our young people to engage in these new emerging markets. I tell you what, New York City has been in a bear market. And this guy is really trying to come out and reverse that. He's really trying to hit a bottom, if you will. So good for him. Good for him. Anybody that takes checks in Bitcoin. Look, getting paid in Bitcoin has been a blessing for us.
Yeah.
So any way that you can get paid in crypto,
do it.
Definitely something you should consider. So, all right. So moving on here, where are we at? NFT Future. Thought this was interesting. So this is sentiment. And they have this social trends. I told you guys, if you check the social trends, you see like what are the top trending stuff going on from crypto social media. Rules, overtime, Brady, change, game, NFL, Rams, Bills, Allen. That's how into football people were yesterday. I certainly was too. But when we check the social tool, it shows different highlights of trends and stuff. And I thought what was so interesting is look at gaming and NFTs over here.
Wow.
Just not a big drop off here. Not a big drop off. Now, NFTs, we know apes and penguins, right? Punks, all this stuff. But what about diapers, hardware, and museums? How many of you guys want to have a diaper NFT?
Ugh.
That's dirty.
Well, it could be clean.
I like change. Okay. All right. Though the likes of Bored Apes and Pudgy Penguins take the headlines and the potential for DeFi and play to earn gaming is undeniably great and exciting, boils down to this: with NFTs, virtually anything can be gamified to promote desired marketing outcomes. And this is pivotal. Marketing outcomes. Gaming things for marketing outcomes. I thought this was so fascinating here because there really are people out there that are thinking about how can they gamify marketing to make it more interesting and get people to actually want to buy products and look at this thing. In the past, if Sherwin-Williams, Simply Safe, Spectrum, Black & Decker, Sony, Pottery Barn wanted to get together as one to market to you at your time of abundant need, it would be virtually impossible. After all, differing internal systems and entrenched hesitancy to share data, dissimilar promotional structures and loyalty program designs, overlapping points of distribution and other roadblocks invariably create insurmountable gridlock. Now imagine these brands teaming together to create a Move Me NFT or something similar. Consumers purchasing these would create revenue for all participating brands, put our new mover into a virtual community where they can tour neighborhoods, attend a housewarming party in the metaverse with a celebrity, enter to win digital real estate, hang their digital art, and of course, learn how each brand's product services can help them along with an exclusive and generous discount. And what about buy a cup of virtual coffee as well? So cross-brand virtual marketing, experiential marketing. I think this is really fascinating. Let's say you added the Museum of Modern Art to your itinerary. Your NFT could get you access to exclusive auction of NFTs of iconic NYC art, perhaps even entry into a hidden exhibit at the museum. This is some stuff we were talking about that Disney is trying to do with their theme park experiences, new product launches, team building for sales. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff that you can do. And we've been telling you for a long time, collectibles are just the first layer of NFTs. They're just the first layer here, okay? There's so much more. Art is 9%, collectibles 76%. This is all the stuff that's going to be much, much bigger. And there are things that are not in here that are not even included, that we haven't even thought of yet, that will be absolutely huge. So just remember this: fortune favors the brave. There you go. Fortune favors the brave. So moving on to blockchain games, blockchain and the evolution of business models in the game industry. I thought this was interesting. We talk a lot about play to earn, but you got to think about where this came from and where it's going. From the 70s until the 2000s, the most prevalent business model for the games industry was pay to play. You bought a game. Who remembers going to Toys R Us and pulling the card out of the folder You know what I'm talking about? Where you go, they have the game wall, and you'd
Mhm.
pull the price for the game out, and you take it up to a register, and they give you the game. You remember that, TJ?
I didn't do Toys R Us. My
Oh,
big
sad,
was
sad.
GameStop was already
Sad.
around by at the time I was doing that.
Yeah, God, you whippersnapper. I'll tell you what.
Well, it's also I didn't get my own console until late because I had to buy my own. My mom
Mhm.
was not a big video game proponent.
Naomi.
Or actually, we had tons of computers. So Tim was like, "Well, if you're gonna play video games,
Play The Sims.
play PC." You know, and I was a PC gamer before it was cool.
Oh, so
Like-
that's how you got to be a nerd. You weren't cool. I like it.
Yeah,
fan.
homeschooled too. So
Homeschool nerd. I like it. My
Yeah.
kids were homeschooled, so I just can't say that anymore. In this model, players have little or no opportunity to extract value from games. Then we have the free-to-play model. You can think Fortnite. This is where the game is free, but there are different things that you can buy within the game, like skins, for instance. Now we have the play-to-earn model. So just very interesting to see this evolution. Everything is going to have to move to this play-to-earn. Everything is going to have to move to this free-to-play model first, at least. We're not going to see, in 10 years, I don't believe people will be selling video games anymore. It's a very fascinating future. Blockchain metaverse ecosystems gain traction as brands create digital experiences. We've kind of already talked about this. Digital experiences is going to be something absolutely huge. We know Lindsay Lohan is creating, experiences for her fans. We talked about that last week. So last thing I want to talk about, who to listen to. You guys know Benjamin Cowan. I tried to get him to come on the show today. I didn't hear back from him yet, but I'm very interested to hear what his take on this collapse is, as he does have the, lengthening cycles theory. And he believes that, maybe the end of this year or next year. I just am very curious if we go below 29K to get his thoughts on, does he believe that is still valid or not? I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this in the chat lately, which is interesting. People every day, lengthening cycle. The hopium. We don't see a lot of people talking about that right now. But look, I'm pulling for him. I'm pulling for it to be right for sure. But Benjamin Cowan had this tweet here. It said, just remember, we all have our own opinions, but no one knows WTF is going to happen. And I think that's very important. Who to listen to? You should be listening to multiple people. You should not be listening to one person only. You're only getting one person's perspective. I haven't gotten everything right. God knows. We haven't done everything right. The Lord knows that too. We're out here trying, and we're doing our best at all times to try to help you guys find financial freedom through crypto assets. But we got a long ways to go. But we're not the only people out here that are doing this. And I think you got to build something collective, because nobody knows. I know you guys right now are saying, blockchain backer, this is the guy that called every single thing. Well, he hasn't been right about every single thing in the history of his channel, I guarantee it. Nobody has been right about absolutely everything. That's why you got to have different viewpoints. It's about taking in this information. And let me give you a great example. I was thinking about this over the weekend. We've covered a lot of coins on this channel. We talked about a lot of different things. We got too many coins in our portfolio. I believe probably should have capitulated some stuff along the way, and we just never did. But, I was thinking about this. There are a lot of people who watch this channel, and they went all in on Solana, okay? We were doing bullish videos on Solana over, a year and a half ago when the price was, in the single digits. Those people took all the information they saw on this channel, and they decided that whatever it was about our Solana video that led them to research Solana further, and they went all in on Solana, and they absolutely crushed it. Life-changing money forever. Sandbox, same thing. We've been talking about Sandbox since before it was even a coin. Some people took that information, and that's what they went all in on, and they crushed it. But not every person that watches this channel, those are the coins they chose. You have to listen to multiple people, take multiple perspectives, take what you've read or listened to, and develop it into a plan and make decisions on what you feel like are the best coins for you to invest in, because we know you can't invest in every single thing. So just be careful who you listen to. But the most important thing is, don't listen to one person only. Definitely get a well-rounded opinion of what is happening in the world of crypto. We know we're by far the most entertaining channel out there, but we don't have all the answers, and nobody does. I really like the way Benjamin said that. So we got a couple Q&A questions.
Yeah, sure. Let's do some Q&A real quick. Guys, if you have anything else, be sure to drop it in the chat. First question, interesting. We saw SNX get hit pretty hard with the initial drop off. So, Das Giggler, do you think SNX will survive the bear market?
That's a great question, I would have to say it's one I'm not super bullish on. The regulation geared at synthetic assets is one that is very dangerous for crypto going forward, and I think we've seen with the Binance synthetic stocks and their attack from regulators. Even though this is a decentralized protocol, I think they're going to make it where, owning these can be illegal. I think owning synthetic assets may be illegal going forward. I think that is a very real possibility. So I'd say synthetics is one I would definitely stay away from in the bear market. See, a lot of people are saying Hamburglar. I thought we had ordered our Hamburglar costume. I found out this morning we had not. So we ordered it this morning. So we'll be doing that on Around the Blockchain one day with CryptoFace.
Yeah, it was funny. Somebody said, in spite of that, at least Carl's going to owe you 1 Bitcoin in 2025.
Yeah, we thought it was $1 million bet. Might be a $10,000 bet.
Okay, next question. How do you feel about digital real estate in the metaverse? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts too.
Yeah, I think digital real estate is a great buy in some metaverse ecosystems. I think you got to be careful. There's a lot of oversaturation out there. We like Decentraland. We like Sandbox. We like Blocktopia. We were actually doing a video inside Blocktopia here pretty soon. I definitely think that's one to watch. But overall, I would say this is a great opportunity for people to buy. But once again, you have to do your research and figure out where you want to buy it at, where it's going to have resale value.
That's what I would say too. It's good. It's kind of like buying a game. Like if the game bombs, it doesn't do you any good to have any land in there. So it's really early, a lot of opportunities, but it's extremely early. Things are gonna change pretty quick.
Like, do you want to own land in ET for Atari? No,
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Any changes coming to the channel to hype the bear market, i.e. best opportunity for your lifetime, entry points, etc., things like that?
Yeah, but unfortunately, it just feels like we're not there.
Not
I
yet.
mean, I think when we're at the bottom of the market or closer to a bottom of the market is when that stuff is. And that's a message I really want to give you guys. Like, we're not confirmed we're in a bear market. It's not confirmed yet. It will not be confirmed until we go below 29 or 28.5 is actually what it is. I was looking at it this morning. Okay. We're not confirmed until we go below that. But once we go below that, that's not the bottom. So when you looked at that example of the difference of down 72% versus down 97%, really getting good buy zones is extremely important. I mean, think of the difference if XRP were to go to $5 from getting it at 5 cents compared to getting it at 60 cents. There's a very big price difference there. So yes, we're going to hype that up. We're going to be all about that. We're going to be trying to show you guys entry points, but I'm just not, 100% sure where that's going to go to. And I think I just want to reiterate that kind of as a final thought for the show is I do not have a crystal ball. I don't know where things are heading. I see comments in the chat saying, oh, if BitBoy's bearish, then we're in a bull market. It's coming. Maybe. I hope so. I'll take that sacrifice. But a mistake that people made in 2018 and 2019 in YouTube, this is why a lot of those YouTubers from that time period are irrelevant today, is they continued telling you to buy the whole way down. They continue telling you, we're in a bull market. We're in a bull market. It's still going up. It's still going up. A lot of people got hurt. I got hurt. A lot of us got hurt by that. And I refuse to do it. So I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to keep it real with you to exactly where I feel like the market is and the temperature. And just remember, it can change like that. We can get a news story today that says that all of a sudden the world is accepting crypto and it's a reserve currency. Not really going to happen, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we can get something that changes things in an instant. But today, this is where I'm at and this is where I'm feeling. And you got to be careful because, like I said, a lot of people are going to leave like this time. And I just want to say this last, once again, don't become one of those statistics. All right, that's all I got. Be blessed. Good way out.